Hello everyone, VG Time back with another deck profile. Continuing with the World Martial Arts Tournament Leader series, we have Jackie Chun. So Jackie Chun is probably my favorite overall leader from this set. I believe he's very powerful. At the time, it was hard to take advantage of his power. Now it's easier to do so, but your opponent has a little bit more answers to it. So let's go over what the leader does. He has the typical, when you attack a leader, you draw a card on the front side, and then when you're at 4 or less life, you get to flip him over and untap 2 energy. On the back side, he becomes Jackie Chun the Mysterious Fighter, and he has the leader auto of when you attack, you draw a card, but then in his case, he gets plus 5k, so he becomes a 20k attacker. That's pretty good at pressuring your leader, but the main reason why the 20k is important is because of his permanent. He has a permanent that if he attacks a battle card in rest mode, your opponent does not get to combo cards. So your opponent has to use an extra card that gives power to their battle card to keep it alive. Because of that, he's able to basically kill anything, barring those niche situations or negate. Let's start off with the World Tournament cards in the deck. We play 4 copies of Future Martial Artist Son Goku. He's your super combo for the deck. It becomes a 0-10k and you draw a card when you're at 5 or less life. Now continuing from the World Tournament cards, we have 4 copies of Vegeta Unison of Fury. This card right here may not seem like it makes sense in the deck to begin with, but there's actually several benefits from it, which you'll see from the cards in the deck. So he has an activate main once per turn that you can rest himself or another card to gain a counter on this card. And then you can -1 to make it so your opponent cannot attack with battle cards greater than their energy. This could be life saving in certain matchups, but the other reason why he's in the deck is because of his -3. We're kind of short on finishers in this deck, so the -3 to be able to give him plus 5k double strike and dual attack is actually pretty relevant. To help you search out the card, we played 3 copies of Casserole. Casserole Slash Striker has the ability that when you play him, you search the top 5 for a yellow unison with specified cost of 2, or a Universe 11 with cost 4 or less, and you add it to your hand. So the main target is of course Unison. He can also search himself, and there's one other card he can search in his deck. And then he has a second auto that says if he switched to rest mode due to one of your skills, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards with a cost 4 or less and switch it to rest mode. So the main card that's going to be switching him is of course Unison, which will allow him to tap a battle card, which will allow you to take advantage of the leader's backside. We also have 2 copies of Beldma the Self-Indulgent. This right here is a counterplay / counter attack. When he counter plays, he acts like Crusher Ball, so whatever card is coming to play comes in play in rest mode. And then as a counter attack, he negates the attack, chooses one of your opponent's battle cards, and negate its skill for the turn. So it doesn't have to be the card that's actually attacking, it could be any of theirs. So because it could be any of their battle cards, you could choose like their boss monster that they might have swung with another card with, or their leader with, first before they swung with the boss monster, and you could then negate that card's skill and render it moot. The next engine I play in this deck is based around this card right here, Universe 9 Assemble. So first things first is the activate main / battle. That makes it very powerful because you can use this card on your opponent's turn if necessary. You draw 2 cards, which is what the hype effect was, but also you get to choose a Universe 9 with a cost of 2 or less from your deck and put it directly into play when you activate this card. So on your turn, the main card that you're going to be playing, well, actually you can play this on your opponent's turn too, but the main card you're going for is 3 copies of this Chapil the Iron Drake. Chapil has an auto once per turn that when an opponent's card attacks, you could choose one of their energy and switch it to rest mode. That right there is very powerful because it makes your opponent have to make their plays before they declare their attacks. At which point you get to see what they're trying to do. If not, they'll lose the energy and basically got nothing for it. If you can stack multiples of these up, it really puts a lot of pressure on your opponent to be able to make their plays before they can attack. This is mainly for your opponent's turn. We play 2 copies of Regado the Web Slinger. When you play him, you just rest one of your opponent's energy. So during your opponent's turn, if you know they're going to be following up with another cool play, just activate this, draw 2 cards, play this guy out from your deck, tap their energy, restrict their play. And then because sometimes you just need a blocker, we play 2 copies of Sorrel, the Cottontail Warrior. He's a blocker, and then he has an auto where you can pay yellow to rest one of your opponent's energy when he blocks. Take advantage of all this tapping of your opponent's cards. We play 2 copies of Sand Majesty Trunks. This guy right here, if one of your opponent's cards is switched to rest mode due to one of your skills, you get to discard him from your hand and draw a card. Then he has the effect of activate battle in your drop area, where you can send him to the warp and rest one of your opponent's battle cards with cost 4 or less, and that costs a single yellow to do. So by resting those cards, of course, you get to take advantage of your leader's backside effect. Your only true finisher in the deck besides Unison, 2 copies of Chill the Cruel. This guy right here is a 25k double striker that comes out for free as long as you have 5 or more energy and he's not on the table. You just have to rest one of your opponent's battle cards, or rest one of your opponent's cards with a skill, and then this guy just kind of comes out, 25k double strike. And then if you, of course, you have the 5 energy up, you can always just pay 5 and play another one if that needed to be the case. Now, next I wanted to take advantage of this mono yellow nature of the deck by playing some pretty cool cards. First, the Infinite Sand rare for yellow. This card right here saw 0 play, and I can understand why, because mono yellow really was not even a thing when this card came out. It came out during a set where blue yellow was the way that you ran yellow. Then later on you ran yellow, yellow red, and then yellow green. So mono yellow really wasn't a thing. She has a permanent that you cannot play her if you have a non-mono yellow card in any area that is public. So you can have a non-mono yellow card in your deck, you can have it in your life, you can have it in your hand. But if it's in the energy play area, battle area, drop area, warp, or unison area, you cannot play this card. She has benefits to playing her though. She only costs 2 due to her activate main. When you pay 2, pitch a card, you put her into play. Then she has an auto on play that you either choose to rest one of your opponent's battle cards ignoring barrier, or you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. That second effect doesn't ignore barrier, but it is what it is. Sometimes you just need to kill something. And the first effect, ignoring barrier and resting a card, allows you, again, to take advantage of the backside of Jackie Chun. But if you need to deal with something in rest mode with barrier, you have 2 copies of this Vegeta striving to be the best. It comes into play, KOs a battle card in rest mode with barrier, ignoring barrier, and when he does, he untaps one of your energy. Another card that helps us rest things with barrier, 2 copies of Bojack, Agent of Destruction. He comes into play, he rests any battle card ignoring barrier. He's a 20k 3-drop, and then he has an activate main where you can pay 2 if this card is in rest mode to choose one of your opponent's leaders. Switch it to, if it's in active mode, switch it to rest mode, and it doesn't get to untap until the end of your opponent's next turn. This card also has synergy with the Unison, so you could rest this card to put a counter on the Unison, then pay 2 and keep their leader locked down. That's very powerful in certain matchups like Reboot Gohan. Then lastly are the special rares that take advantage of the fact that we're mono yellow. We play Vegeta's Final Flash. This card right here is very, very powerful and very underestimated. It's a 115k combo for your yellow leader, which is okay. But its other effect is an auto that if all your energy is yellow, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and negate its skill. So you kind of want to save this for when they go in on something with multiple strike and they throw a bunch of cards out their hand. And for 1 energy, you get to basically blank all that effort, take 1 hit, and basically stare at them, and that's always fun. One weakness of Jackie Chun, lack of self-awakening. For that, we're playing 4 copies of this Fearless Assault Krillin. But basically, he takes a life on swing, becomes a 15k crit, and you're just basically using them to bleed a card out your opponent's hand and to take a life in the slower matchups. That's also why I run this negate right here, Time Magic. Time Magic is a very good negate when the format is going tall, when they're dealing with big boss monsters and things like that. Right now the format looks like it's going wide because of Vegix, so it's not nearly as good in those matchups, but it's still a solid card. You get to take a life because it's a sparking negate, so if you have 5 or more cards in the drop area, just activate it, take a life instead of paying energy, which could then again help you to awaken. And whatever card that it negated, you could choose it, like battle card wise, you could choose it, ignoring barrier, and it doesn't get to untap until your next turn. So, solid card overall. And then 2 copies of Crusher Ball to round out the deck. It's the OG force your opponent's battle cards to rest mode. As a counterplay, it gets around barrier because it doesn't choose the card, and it just makes the card come into play go into rest mode. Thank you for watching today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out other videos on this channel, and follow me on Instagram at the name below in the description. This is VG Time, signing out.